Hi guys, this is Uldouz and welcome to the Uldouz Show. Today I have a very special guest. Her name is Jiaoying and she has around 1.5 million followers on social media, and she owns 2 different comedy clubs, and she also has a comedy special coming out on Peacock TV, or Peacock, right? Peacock TV coming out. So basically, she's also a single mom of 2. So I don't even know how she manages to handle all this because it's a lot already. But thank you so much for joining my show today. And I'm so happy to have you on. Let's just get right into it. What made you want to start pursuing comedy?
I love to make people laugh my whole life, and I grew up in China as a girl. I was never desired or wanted by my family or society, so they love me, but in a way it's like, oh, you are not a boy, we still kept you better do well in school, you better do better. I'm just never good enough. And being in China as a girl with dark skin, I was never beautiful. So I just thought that maybe I should do something else to get people to like me, and I just love to make people laugh. And I guess I just always wanted it to be accepted and loved, and making them laugh would be very good to make people like me. So I always like to make people laugh. I've been told I've been funny since I was a kid. I was just a funny kid. I always like to make people laugh.
Yeah, I mean, you're like already, like, as soon as you start talking, like you're actually like really naturally funny. Like when you're telling your story, even though it's like really like dramatic, and also like I went through the same stuff as you're talking about. Like when I was born, like my dad's family was like, oh, next time you get a boy, like they were like disappointed. So but it's like funny. I know it's like super messed up, but the way you're like explaining everything and I'm relating to it, it's like it still comes off as funny, even though it's like so sad. So like I think you just naturally built funny, like you said, and it's just like you just got this talent, like natural God-given talent. So yeah, it's amazing. I love it. So okay, go on with your story. Sorry.
So I grew up in China. I went to America for college. I went to University of Kentucky. That's a big joke. I have like 10 minutes materials of my Kentucky life in comedy. Talk about it a lot because people are like fascinated. Kentucky.
Yeah.
Hey, you went to Kentucky? I'm like, yeah, nobody lies about going to Kentucky.
What is like a Kentucky accent? Do you know how to do it, or?
Let me think, like, let me try. Just get truck ready, something like that.
What?
And get a truck ready, like get the truck ready, something like.
Oh, okay. Like I don't even know.
Ready, something like that. I can't do it because I can barely speak English, but I think that would be like a Kentucky accent.
Yeah, like when I think Kentucky, I'm like Kentucky, holy ho, like
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, it's probably really probably like pissing off a lot of Kentucky people. But yeah, so then when you came to Kentucky, what happened?
I started the business, and I started to hang out with like a lot of pretty girls, American girls, and they teach me to do makeup. And I was a tomboy, and then I just really loved to look pretty, and I really enjoyed being a girl. And then I went to LA to pursue acting, and it's been very tough with this accent to get on any role. I've been training with Howard Fine Acting Studio, doing speech, and I loved the craft of acting, and I also did the Lady Macbeth theater for my acting school, and I loved it. My coach loved how hard I work, but my accent is stopping me from going further. Even though I got a call back, it's always my accent that's holding me back. And I came here when I was like 18, and it's really hard to remove my accent. I don't have like a musical ear that I can really just do a lot of language with no accent. Also, I can't. I'm not American born Chinese. I'm an immigrant. I'm a first generation immigrant. I can't change who I am. Therefore, I was encouraged to do stand up. My acting coach Howard Fine told me that I have a lot of humor in me, that I'm naturally funny. He said I should do stand up and audition for TV show. I think called The Rebel. It's John Singleton's TV show. It's about, there's a role, it's a Chinese girl. She grew up in San Francisco in Oakwood, which is like a ghetto Chinese girl, very cool character.
Yeah.
Really, her name is Karma, I think. I really want to get that role. And I auditioned, I got a call back, and John Singleton's like, no, we can't have you. This girl is she grew up here. Your accent doesn't convince us as you are from Oakwood. But I do think you have a talent for stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
So he's like, why don't you try stand-up? And I think you really can do it. So that's we connect, we become friends, and he kind of like encouraged me to do it a lot of times for my first open mic. And eventually I tried out, and it was very hard. I bombed, of course, the first open mic. And then he asked me again. I already got married, had my baby, but he said, oh, you should talk about your stand-up when we have lunch. But he passed away suddenly from the brain aneurysm.
Yeah. So that's so crazy that you're saying that. I had no idea, because I was actually discovered by John Singleton, and when I like talked to him, and he was like, you're actually really like naturally funny, and I'm like, oh really, because you never laugh at my jokes. And he's like, well, yeah, because I don't need to, you laugh at your own jokes. And he's like, you need to start going the groundling, because number one rule is to not laugh at
oh
your
my
own
god
jokes.
What a beautiful connection.
Yeah. And then like we were good friends, but yeah, like you said, like he passed away. It was so like sad, you know. And I like know his like ex-fiance and baby mamas, you know, and all that kind of stuff.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's such a small world. I had no idea.
Yeah, I just you know, he's very convinced I should do stand-up, and I wasn't convinced. And I tried it, and I wasn't convinced, because I didn't kill my first open mic. I mean, nobody does, somebody does, but I didn't. But I didn't give up. I just kept back. I was breastfeeding. I'll be pumping milk in the car. I'll be running 5 open mics a day, trying to go to get the mic. And it's very hard, because, you know, we can't get on stage unless you are somebody. Nobody's going to book you. But how can you get booked? Is get good. How can you get good? Is getting practice. There's not enough practice.
Yeah. No, it's crazy with open mics, because I think a lot of people don't really understand, like, when you do open mics, you actually go in front of like other comedians that are also practicing their like open mics, right? So, or like practicing their content. So they're kind of there just to focus on their own stuff, right? And they're waiting on their turn. So if you get somebody from these people, and they're very critical, but if you can get one of them, like, or some of them or whatever, if they're starting to laugh, then you know that it's actually good content, because then you can make an actual room like full of people that are not comedians like laugh, right?
Yes.
So that's what I kind of learned with the whole open mics. Like, I went up so many times, and like it's like you got to just keep going, and then see what works, and then see what doesn't work. Like, this section might work, okay, cut this part out, you know. So it's like really technical, and then you come up with a routine, and then that's what you pretty much present to people, you know. So
very tough.
It's very tough. Like, I never like, well, the thing with stand-up is I wanted to just like kind of focus on doing a special and this and that. But as far as touring at that point in my life, I didn't want to go like on tours and like, you know, all over the country and this and that, even though like I could have. I didn't feel like I wanted to do that at that point, because I was at a different stage. Oh yeah, camera kind of went off. Okay, there. So yeah, like, did you do the whole touring and everything, or are you still touring, or how is that working?
So I started open mic, and I realized there's not enough stage time if I play by the rule. So I break the rule. I open my own comedy club. I can practice every hour, every day. So I really give myself all the stage time in the world. I'm a workaholic. Like, I have very high standard. I rewrite my joke. I do the best I can to make the joke work, which I really relate to you, because you produce your show, you have millions of followers, like you are one of the biggest influencers on I think on Instagram as a comedian actress. and you also like then all of a sudden you have a man in your sketch, and they get all the credit, which is so stupid. Nobody believe me when I tell them I write all my jokes. They're like, no, you don't speak English. No, you can't write that well. I'm like,
yeah, that's yeah.
Nobody
No, I
read
totally
better
agree.
than me.
I totally agree. Like I'm so impressed by you because you have your own like comedy club, and like the best part about it, you're like, this isn't enough. Like, I'm not getting enough stage time. I'm gonna just buy my own comedy club.
Yes, you were like 100,000 hours rule. I'm like, I can't get 100,000 hours. I spent 2 hours from like Santa Monica to Burbank to get on this open mic. Is a lottery open mic. You can't get on. I can buy 20 drinks, give to everybody, and get a lottery in. But like, I don't need this. I don't have time for this. I need to get on stage. That's what I did. So with my TikTok working, and I started. I think shortly after a year, start doing it. I start getting noticed. I getting spots booked for the improv, the audition mic. I do the audition mic. It's so hard because everybody's competing for the spot. It's a lottery. When you go up and when you are funny, they are angry at you because the other comics are bitter. But when you are not funny, they are so happy. They make you feel worse. So it doesn't matter. You lose either way. But I didn't give up. I bought my Amazon folding chair. I sit outside of a Laugh Factory for 5 hours. I wait for the lottery audition for the audition. I just keep doing it. Now, like, I have my face on the marquee on Sunset Boulevard. People be like, you are so lucky. You know how hard it is for people to get past by the Laugh Factory? I'm like, I know. I was on a folding chair with Crazy Joe. Like, I know, I did it. Like, he's like, can I touch the boobs? Like, that's what I did. I didn't, I hustled. I go there. And I never, and sometimes I don't get called. Sometimes I have a spot, I didn't do well. Sometimes I thought I did amazing, but they never call me back for the next spot. But didn't stop me from hustling. I just need to get better at the most critical, hardest open mic in the world. So my fans want to see me. So I did my tour in Texas. I sold out my Dallas tour, and I started doing tour. I'm going to San Diego this weekend. Mm-hmm. I'll be on Fox News 5 Morning News to talk about my comedy special and my tour in San Diego this Friday. Mm-hmm. Going to New York last week of this month. So I still tour, but with 2 kids, being a single mother, it's like a battle I have to fight. Like this weekend, I'll be taking 2 kids and my maid and my mom, all of us going there. So night I work as a working mom. Daytime I'm a mom. I go to the zoo and the SeaWorld with the kids.
Yeah. I know. That's like the hardest part, because a lot of times when you're a woman and you're working, you're also taking on the role as just like a full-time mom and working full-time. So it's not like you really get a lot of breaks being a mom, So the job like never ends. That's what I like experience with my friends and stuff. They're always saying like, it's like you work full-time, then you also take care of the kids full-time, and then there's no time that you're actually off. While like when you're a guy, you actually just go to work and then you come home, you might play with the kids for like an hour or 2, and then you kind of like go to sleep, right?
So true.
Yeah, like, so how has that been like challenge, like, with the challenge of like keeping up with 2 kids, not just 1, but like being a single mom, bringing your kids on tour and like doing all this and working? Like, I can't even imagine. Like, I would have just been falling asleep like everywhere and everywhere.
I just got really lucky, very, very lucky with my mom. She helped me with the kids full time. Mm-hmm. And then I have a full-time maid. She helps. She's also a nanny and a chef. So she makes food. She cleans the house. She helps with the baby. She's working for me full time. And then I also have a very brilliant assistant. She's helping me with editing my videos, my daily tasks. So I still have to work full time to actually survive a day. I mean, I enjoy my life very much, but also like there's a lot of things that I have to make sure it's done. Like there's a birthday at the school. I want to make sure my son has gifts for the kid, or like I have to make sure that because I'm busy, he's not ignored by me for school. And then my daughter, she is talking, she's walking around, she wants my attention, and I always try to take like a 2-hour break in the afternoon to help myself so I can just be away from work. I can play with the kids and read books with them and take them to the Peacock Park to hang out. I just wanted to tell all the single mothers or married, mothers who's not single mother, just for all of the mom, we are doing the best we can. You have to stop being hard on yourself that, oh, I'm a bad mom. Oh, like you are playing different roles. When you are working, you are working. When you are mom, you are mom. You can't do both, but you can do both. Is that when you allow yourself be like, okay, today I should have spent more time with them, but guess what? There's a deadline. I have to catch up. If I don't catch up, it's more stress for me and the family anyway. So you just give yourself a break. Maybe one day you can spend all day with a kid. You don't have to worry about work, but you just can't to be hard on yourself. When you are hard on yourself, you are in a bad mood. The kids are so smart. They know what's going on. They feel bad. And it's not good. The best thing is just like, I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah.
A day at a time. I'm good. Don't worry. I'm fine. I got this.
Yeah, no, that's like, that's really helpful, I think, because I think I think a lot of moms, they're probably beating themselves up, whether you like don't spend enough time with the kids because you're working, then you feel guilty about that, or like vice versa. So like you're like spending all this time with the kids, but you're not working enough, right? So it's like it's hard to find like a good balance. So I think a lot of women feel guilty about both, because either you're working and you're pursuing your dreams and your goals, or like you're doing too much, one too much or too little, so it's like it's kind of hard to figure all that balance out, I guess, but you look like you've done it, and like it's good that you have like somebody that can help, and like you get your mom and the maid and assistant. That's what I found is like so hard to find, is people that like finding a good, like, people to work, like in general. Like I had a hard time finding assistants, because you find an assistant and they might be great for certain time, but they're just there to learn everything that you have to teach.
Yeah.
And then once they learn everything, then they're off, and you're like, wait a minute, like I just gave free training.
There's so many things like that. Somebody have a great assistant, then they learn everything you have, they take it and try to do their own thing, copy what they learn from you. It's just it's so sad to find a good one, because it takes you around a month or two to train them, to get them good. You're basically paying 2 months just to train them, because they won't be doing good things at the first 2 months. They don't know your system. And when you teach them, they know everything. When they are like really taking off, they leave, which is so crazy.
So like, how did you find good people to work for you? Like, did you go through a lot of people?
I got so lucky with my assistant.
Yeah.
I interviewed a lot. They don't just talk, but they don't really do things. So I got her. She was doing a workshop for my best friend Aiden Park. She's a young comedian, a Jewish girl from New York, very bright, very sweet. And when first time I met her, I'm like, we're gonna just meet, because she worked for crazy people before too. It's not like she's desperate. So we just meet, and we had a good chat, and then I have her basically on a trial for both of us for 1 week, and I saw she was very bright, and then I just took her on full time, and she's really great.
No, that's so cool. That's like, wow, like I want to kind of get her a phone out. Be like, can I borrow her? Like, yeah. And she edits. That's like amazing. Like she does everything.
She edits my videos, and she does my schedule, and she also like remind me of things. She makes sure things are organized so I don't go crazy, because I'm a workaholic. When I don't get shit done, I freak out. I just but she's very calm, and she knows what's going on.
So when you go like on auditions, like I was explaining to you earlier when we were in our like recording, I have a very hard time when I go out on auditions, because people think I'm Hispanic. So they're like, oh, she's Latina. Do you speak Spanish? And I'm like, no, I don't speak Spanish. They're like, where are you from? I'm like, oh, I'm Persian. So I'm Iranian, basically. And then they're like, oh, okay. All of a sudden, like out of nowhere, they're casting me as like this terrorist Taliban, And I'm like, wait, what? Like, like I actually went out for like a part, and I thought like I'm gonna show my face and everything, and they put like a burqa on me, like, and I'm like, and then the best part is like I think I just like spoke in Farsi, so basically people don't even know what I'm saying. So what does it matter like who's behind, you know, the curtain kind of thing, the burqa, right? So it just made no sense. They could have casted anyone for that part. Like it could have been like somebody that doesn't like know anything, right? Like know any languages or anything, because barely you could even barely even hear them talk. You could just do a voiceover, you know?
Yeah.
It made no sense.
I feel like the lack of representation for minorities in Hollywood is that because very few of us are behind the scenes writing the script, funding the movie, so we can take control. But I think you are taking control as this massive social media influencer, brilliant actress and comedian. You have so much power. People want you because they want your influence, other than your talent and how funny you are. Feel like we are like building up ourselves, so they cannot ignore us anymore. That's what I felt, that what I have to do to make it here in Hollywood is that they won't cast me because of my accent, but they will cast Salma Hayek, even though she has her accent, and her accent is a plus because she is Salma Hayek. She made herself Salma Hayek to be true to herself, like Sofia Vergara. She made herself Sofia Vergara. Her accent is a big part of who she is, and it's sexy. It's brilliant. So I cannot be a nobody to ask the casting, be like, can you cast me instead of Constance Wu, because I'm actually fresh off the boat. She's from fucking Virginia. Like, you need somebody who's fresh off the boat. I have the real accent. She has to fake her accent. They don't give a fuck. She's more famous.
Really?
They want published. They don't want me. So I'm like, you are gonna want me because I'm gonna sell the ticket, because people want to watch me, because I'll become a star on my own right. With the talent, I'm gonna work my ass off to develop. So I feel like we are doing the same things. Like, we are developing our talents, and we are building our audience. Like, if you hire me, I'm gonna sell 1 million tickets because I have following. People want to buy ticket to see me. I don't do makeup video on my TikTok. I don't eat food on my TikTok. I tell jokes on my I'm the bitch. I'm the funny mom on TikTok everybody loves. And therefore, you want a funny Chinese girl from China? Yeah, cast me, because that'll be smart to cast me. Yeah. Rather than be like, oh, please cast me. You know, I'm tired of being the person who's powerless. I want to take the power. Therefore, I remember I was pregnant with my girl during the pandemic. I was hugging the toilet while making a TikTok video because I can't stop. Nobody's gonna help me. Nobody give a fuck that you are pregnant. You are taking off your time from social media, from your career. You take off your time, you're out. You are gone. I was never there because I wasn't famous before anything. But one thing is like, I don't have time to waste, or I don't have to beg anybody. I am tough on myself. I make myself do it. I make myself make videos. My friend asked, I don't want to post video every day. That's too much. I'm not like you. I'm like, no, I don't want to post it either. Do you think I don't want to hang out with my kid to post a video? I don't want that. You have to comment, you have to like, you have to respond the comments, to interact. But that's a part of the job. I want to make it as a performer. And that's one of the job. I have to interact with my fans so I can have a fan base. I can have a career, not because I have nothing to do. I want to ignore my family and my kids. I can be on social media. I don't want that. I want to take a nap. I want to go to the pickup park. I want to go shopping. I want to eat ice cream with the kids. But I can't do it all day. I have to choose my battles, not because we are different. You don't want to post videos. I do. I'm the person who's crazy about posting videos. No, nobody wants to post video all day. No. We want nobody, like even you, with like over 5 million on Instagram. This is massive. People don't get it. Like, oh, she's a social media queen. She just love it. You do love it, but this is so many work behind this. Like, when people are sleeping, you are posting. When people are sleeping, you are making content. When people are like, I'm gonna be my day off, you have to put on your makeup and your hair and do a sketch. They don't get it. They only get it like, oh, she's lucky because she's hot. Hot people get more followers. She's doing it like 2015, 2016 when it's easier. No, it wasn't never easy. Yeah, it was not easy.
Yeah, that's what the whole misconception is. And I feel like it's not just me. I feel like it's women in general. Like, as soon as you have social media following, oh yeah, it's because she's hot, or
Yeah.
oh, it's because of her boobs or her tits. I mean, there's a million people that have bigger butts, bigger boobs, bigger, prettier, funnier, whatever you want to claim, you know. And there's just so many different people with different talent, but do they have the following? Do they know what it took to build that? Like, I was literally up day and night building this, and all I knew at the time was, you know, if I like build more followers or get more followers, I can get casted for stuff, right? At that point, there was no like brand deals. There was no way of making money unless you maybe like sold your own product or something. And that was like way ahead for me, right? Like, I didn't even know I could make money off of it. My goal was like, oh, just keep getting more like people to see me, see my work, and I can get casted for more stuff. And then next thing you know, it just kind of grew to its own thing. But then what's so frustrating about this is, in order for people to give me a chance to collab with them, I had to come up with the comedy sketches. I had to come up with the whole idea, the concept, write them up, send it to them, get it approved, and then they would like tag me in their like videos or something, right? So I was growing my following that way. But then like eventually I was like, okay, after like writing for What the Funny and Funny or Die, I'm like, let me grow my own following. And when I did that, I was like, okay, if I just do the funny thing, people are like, oh, she's hot, and they're gonna like not want to watch it. Oh, women aren't funny, or whatever they claim, right? And then so I was like, okay, I'll do the sexy funny thing, right? So I did the whole sexy funny thing, and I noticed that like if I did a collab where I made the whole video, I'm the one with the following, I'm the one who wrote it, I'm the one who edited it, I'm the one who directed it. I did literally every aspect of the video, and it's my content and it's my copyright. That if I had another guy or a guy come in there for 1 second, they would get all of the credit automatically, to a point where like all these YouTube companies, they gave my monetization to the guy, you know? So I actually lost out on hundreds and thousands of dollars from people just assuming that if it's a guy in the sketch or in the video, that like I don't even have the mental capacity of being funny or like creative or anything. They automatically gave it to the guy, no question about it, you know? So I didn't even realize that this is what was going on, because like all my like people that I worked with, their paychecks were like, you know, 15,000, 20,000, 30,000 a month, right? And my paychecks are like $200, and my videos are going viral on every platform. They're going viral on YouTube. They're going viral everywhere. And I'm like, why are my paychecks so low? And how do you even prove it? Like, because they're getting the funding going straight to their accounts, these YouTube companies, right? So you can't even show them like, hey, I actually know I made this much. And then they also like will get monetization from doing like, you know, at that time there was like Vine and stuff. So they would do the Vine takedowns on YouTube. So if somebody reposts your video, that's your copyright. So you can get the earning for that, right? So they were giving my earning to like these guys. And I'm like, I can't even get that money back now, you know? So like I already know like firsthand like how hard it is to be a woman in comedy, and like how people already automatically discredit you from you just existing. So like how did you get into doing like, first of all, like a comedy special for Peacock, and like that's huge, and then the comedy clubs, like that to me is like huge, like more than the special, but the special is like huge already. Like I would love to have a special one day, but like, you know,
You will.
Yeah. But like,
You're
how
ready.
did you do that? How did you make it happen?
Well, I basically I just kept my head down and work, do the open mic as much as I can. I was when I opened my comedy club, I was hosting 10 hours of open mic per day.
Wow.
bathroom, I take out the trash because my husband then didn't believe I can do it. So I knew that if I hired people right away, I wouldn't learn the business. I can't really survive in this business. So I want to learn by myself. So I was running the mic, hosting everything, making the flyers, the Eventbrite link, everything. And then I discovered some people can help. I start hiring every day. I have 3 or 4 hosts. They host across the day every week. I think my staff, we have around 40 comedians that they host. They have regular shifts to host. And every weekend we have 2 or 3 shows. I'm on all of the shows. And I got funnier because I worked very hard and I had my TikTok following. So I started getting booked on a lot of shows. So last year, I got the Comedy Invasion series. They were on Hulu, the first season. They are casting their second season. So they cast me for their second season, giving me a 30-minute special. This was supposed to be on Hulu, but they got another deal with Peacock TV. They think it's more exciting. So it's gonna be on Peacock TV. I filmed my first 30-minute special within 1 year of doing stand-up comedy. 30 minutes. I was very, very excited. And that's the day actually I was getting a divorce. I was moving out from the house, driving a fucking moving truck directly to the Tokyo Japanese theater. My face was swollen. I've been crying all week. I'm in an awful mood. I could have canceled, but I would not cancel. I'm gonna do it. I'll power through. I look like shit. My face was like very swollen from crying. But I did it.
Oh, you're so beautiful. Like I can't even imagine that. But like I understand, like when you cry, you feel like you don't look attractive and stuff. Like you feel like crap, So you did that, and then you held a comedy special at this theater, and then at the same time you're moving out, like from a divorce.
Yeah, the same day I was moving out from my house, I drove directly to my taping because this is the most important thing in my life for my career. I did it. My husband didn't care. He just want to fight, whatever. So the following month, I toured Seattle, and then I came back. I auditioned for the funniest woman in comedy for the Laugh Factory. So I did a competition. And I was one of the winners. So that qualified me to pass the Laugh Factory. So now I'm a paid regular at the Laugh Factory. Nice. That would be a huge, huge shift of my career to actually being at the Laugh Factory and meeting those great comics and learning and challenging myself to help my status and my standard as high as the stars. It's a lot of courage for me to be on the same stage because you know you are good or bad. You can see a big star kill right before you, you're going to go up. People expect you to be that good. And you have to. If you are not, they don't laugh. Because it's not acting. You can fuck the director and like make your thing 5 times and then cut the best one. You go up, you are not funny. You are not funny. People don't laugh. So I had to do a lot of work to be there. I had to do a lot of shows to make sure that I'm that good. That challenged me to the next level. It also boosted my confidence. So as of this year, I'll prepare for my 1-hour special, and I'm going to tour probably once a month because of the kids. I'm just every day is a battle. I do the best I can to be a good mom and to be a good boss and to be a good comedian.
Yeah. No, but that's super cool. Like, I'm like, oh my God, we gotta be like best friends now because I can learn so much from you. I feel like you're just like, your mind is like, I could tell like some parts is like, I got mentored by like John Singleton, right? And some parts, he was like, oh, you gotta like write your own stuff, you gotta create your own stuff, nobody's gonna give you a chance, that's how this industry works, unless you want like the one-liners and those kind of things, like you gotta create your own stuff, right? So you like literally like, okay, well, I'm gonna buy the comedy club, then they don't want to give me a chance, or I can't get enough time or whatever, I'm gonna do my own thing. So like that's so cool that you did that, because it's like, I don't know, I'm just so impressed by it. Like I don't even have words for it, because it's
thank you. I'm so impressed by you. You are so massive. you are so brilliant and smart. You are such a boss lady. Like we really.
So you're the one who owns like the comedy clubs. I don't own a comedy club. I want to come and just like hang out there.
Yeah, no, whatever. You want to do a show together? We should do a show together. That'll be amazing.
Yeah. I have to do my stand-up comedy again. I have like 20 or 30 minutes of like content, you know, and I recorded it and everything. I wanted to kind of put it up, you know, so people can see and people can get it and they can watch it.
You should do my show at the Improv. I have a monthly show, Jiaoying and Friends at Hollywood Improv.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I haven't done it in a while, so yeah, I have to get back into it, you know.
Yeah. I'll get you on for May if you have
what
time.
would you suggest if like you want to do stand up, but you, for instance, like don't feel like touring all the time? Like, is that possible?
It is possible, because LA is basically where you need to be for comedy beside New York. If you are in LA, you have your right, since that you are already very successful as an actress and a social media influencer. You don't need to travel. You just do LA. We have the Laugh Factory, Improv, and the Comedy Store, and there's a lot of other clubs in LA, and somewhere nearby like San Diego, Long Beach, maybe even Vegas. Yes. So like once you take over this market, you are already a star. When you are ready to travel, you have your Netflix special. You can just do the bigger tour. So I don't think. I also I didn't want to tour as much, because I felt that I need to really focus on doing my materials, because some people who tour, they only have 10 minutes. They do the same 10 minutes everywhere, because it's a different audience. They kill, and they just like, oh, I'm good. They don't work on building their materials. So therefore I tour, but I don't tour as much at this stage of my career. When I am bigger, maybe in 3 years, I have a 1 hour special out. I can tour nationally, like just do tour and take the kids with me. But as of now, I'm like, I call myself like as a doctor, but right now I'm doing my residency. Like I'm working like 100 hours a week, just trying to get better at what I do. Yeah. Stand up is a craft, and people can tell the hours you put in or the hours you don't put in, how you react to the hecklers, how you work your materials. I mean, it's people can see it. So yeah. I think at this stage, not touring is good because we are lucky we're in LA.
Yeah, no, like I totally agree that. I guess it's doable, you know. Like I think for me, my scenario, like I did the sketches, right? So I first started with the whole acting and, you know, everything. And then it was like, okay, let me do the sketch comedy. Then I did the sexy funny, you know, and then it was just like, oh, well, she does the sketches. And then they all automatically assume that it was the guy. There's some guy somewhere writing all my stuff. There always have to be a guy behind it, right? Like, I don't know where they're getting this guy from. I wish he was here because I need the help, you know? So yeah. They always come up with but this is a guy or whatever. So basically I was like, okay, well, people don't believe it. Let me prove to them and myself that I could do stand-up, right? So I actually went and like I got coached by Pretty Funny Women. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Yeah, so I did that just to like get the ins and outs. And then I started going out to like open mics everywhere. And then, you know, did my little you know, what do you call it? Like my bits or whatever. And when I figured it all out after the open mics, then I was like, okay, now I know I could do this. And technically I could tour too. There was a bunch of people that wanted to see me in different cities because I was with Gert's agency and they were like, oh, can you pull these many people in each city? So I was able to, but then I started thinking, I'm like, is this even what I want? Like, do I want to travel all over the US to like all random cities and do stand up, you know? And then I realized to myself, like this was just like a thing to prove to myself that I could do it. But it wasn't the ultimate thing, right? So I was just like, okay, well, I know I could do it. Then I was like getting questioned like, oh, well, she can do comedy and she can do stand up, but can she do dramatic, you know? And then I'm like, oh, really? Now, like, you know, this. So I started like proving to myself again, like, can I do dramatic the way people think I could do it, you know?
Oh, yeah, so totally. Some of the best actors are comedians.
Yeah.
Goldberg. like Robin Williams. You can't get better than those.
Yeah.
My acting coach always say, dying is easy, comedy is hard, because you have to cost you to make people laugh. It costs us to make people laugh, to be the real great comedians. The cheesy laughs, they go away, but the real comedians, it costs their pain, emotional, make people laugh.
Yeah, so tragedy is comedy. So it's like, you know, you had to go through all that tragedy, you know? So like that's what I was like saying. Like I did the whole like 2 years of like Meisner, and they like did the dramatic and all of this stuff, right? And then I did my short film and I produced it and all that good stuff. And then next thing you know, like the short film is like called Hacked, basically. So that's a whole nother thing. But I did that, and then it was dramatic, and then now people are like, oh, she could do that too. Okay, cool. But it's still like I still gotta prove myself. Like, you know, it like never ends. It's like, you know, you gotta create your own like movies, TV shows, everything you own, because it's like people are not gonna give you a chance, basically.
No,
You know? Especially if you're a woman and you
because
have an accent, or you're like another like ethnic background, you know?
yeah, it's crazy. I totally get you, because even Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo right now, people like, but you can't sing, but you can't dance. Even today, people say that to her.
Yes.
So I think you do whatever is right in your heart, because you actually already proved to the world you are beautiful, smart. You are such a dynamic talent, comedy, drama. Like you can do everything. And you are also a very smart businesswoman. I feel like right now you would be just like, just do whatever is your calling right now. You're gonna shine in whatever you do, rather than thinking about it. I'm doing it so I can prove to them. You don't have to prove to anybody. You are the winner. In every standard, you are the winner. You have top agency in Hollywood. You are gorgeous. You have the biggest social media following, and you are very talented, and you are an amazing person. I just feel like at this point, any movie offer you anything, when you do it, you are gonna they are gonna win just because they have you.
Thank you. Same for you. Like, you know, my thing is, I think we should just team up and do our own thing. You know? Like, I think that's probably the best thing. And then before I like forget to, so I'm in the process of changing the laws against hack leak crimes of private images and videos. So it's like basically if somebody hacks you and leaks private videos and images or information about you, uh, you know, that is in a sexual manner or like nudity or anything like that, they should be sentenced as someone who's committing a sex crime and not just like a regular hacking, because what they're doing is like they're profiting from that, and then they're basically doing like a digital rape and digital trafficking.
Yeah, totally.
So what do you think about the laws and like the technology? Like, do you think the laws need to be updated with technology, or like what should be done about that?
I think the laws definitely need to be updated with technology, because nowadays you can make a fortune. Like people, if they hack into your account, they have your daily. I'm not even like a nudity, just your daily selfies. They can sell it for money. Your fans would buy it, and they thought that was you, and they'll use your image, make a fake account, and just like communicate with the fans and making money from it. It's I feel like it's digital kidnapping. It's digital human trafficking. That's what you said. It's like they use your image, your contents to make a profit, to lie to your fans and take advantage from them because they have the love for you. And this is just really, really bad crime. You can actually make good money from doing that. And that's why people are doing it, because they can actually make a lot of money.
Yeah, so for instance, these hackers, they're getting sentenced like a couple months, like 3 months, 5 months, a year, max like a year and a half, or you know, something around there. So like if you think about it, they're hacking all of these people. Some of them might even be celebrities, or a lot of them are celebrities, and they're selling it for millions and millions of dollars on the black market, right? Or and then next thing you know, like worst case scenario, if they get caught, they're getting like a slap on the wrist. Imagine if you get like 5 months to a year and a half and you made like minimum of $10 million. I mean, that's more than you would have made probably in a year and a half anyway. So it kind of like makes sense to almost go to jail for a year and a half. And that's if like you get caught. So yeah, I'm just kind of weirded out like on all the laws right now, because the laws are not in favor of women and children. I noticed that like with a lot of situations. And then, you know, people are like putting like child support and all this other stuff. Well, it's your child. Like you should take care of your child, you know, like it's crazy. Like some things I can understand how it's like it should be evened out, and some other things I'm like, when it comes to like children, underage girls and boys getting raped or like things like that, I'm just kind of like, the laws need to really, really be updated. And they're targeting like little girls and little boys too in these kind of scenarios. So that's what's so sickening about this. Like they should be sentenced as someone who's committing a sex crime and be a registered like sex offender, you know?
Totally.
Yeah. It's crazy. So yeah, but thank you for saying that, because I'm trying to change the law right now. So everything is like going in that direction. But is there anything else you would like to say? Where can people find you? Do you have anything you want to like bring up or talk about?
Thank you so much, my gorgeous. My name is Jiaoying Summers. I'm on social media, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere, YouTube as Jiaoying Summers. And I have comedy shows every week. Just go to my website, jiaoyingsummers.com, follow me on Instagram. And I am touring San Diego this weekend and New York at the end of the month. If you are in New York, make sure you come out to see me. I'm so happy to be here. And I think Uldouz and I, we should have dim sum and we can chat like in person, because I'm like in love with you. Like you are Princess Jasmine. I'm Mulan.
Yeah,
we have two princesses.
Hell yeah. Like no, right? But we gotta hang out whenever like you're in LA. Where you're in LA, right? So
yeah, I live in LA. So next week, if you have time, or the week after, I'll send you an email. I'll copy my assistants and your schedule, whatever. We will figure it out. We can have dim sum. My godmother had a restaurant on Cannon called the Xi'an Restaurant. It's really good and healthy. Very healthy Chinese food. You're gonna love it.
Oh my God. Yeah, I love Chinese food. So I'm like, anytime any food is really like, you know, like there's any food across like anywhere, I like, you know, I'm on a constant diet. So anytime I get a chance to actually eat, like I'm like, oh my God, I gotta eat, you know.
Jasmine tea and eat them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have all that
over the world.
Yeah, no, for sure. We have to do that. And like, also I'm going to like add all of her links in the description, so you guys can go there and like click on the links directly. So you got to send that to me too, so I can add that.
I have an email coming out to you.
Okay, cool. All right, well, thank you so much for doing this. I'm like, I'm in love with you. I'm like, let's get married. You and me.
For sure. We have beautiful kids.
You're the man I've been looking for. You know, I love it. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. Bye. Bye.